Alright, what's up guys? I'm gonna show you how to play hybrid, how to set it up. If you're looking for a way to bind your weapons to, like, let's say your D-pad or the analog stick, this is the video for you. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. So first I'm gonna show you my setup for my controller, my left-hand side, because I don't use this side at all. So I'm gonna go down to my controller settings. As here you have Crucible, Chainsaw, Melee, and Grenade all on the D-pad right here. And then jump and dash on the left trigger. And then if you notice right here, the Y button does nothing. This layout right here I'm about to show you only applies to controllers that have a paddle on the back. This one has a paddle. Let me show you real quick. This one has four, but I took one off. But this paddle right here is bind to Y. So when I press the paddle in the game, it's bind to nothing and it does nothing. But this is the trick I'm gonna show you. Let me pull this up real quick. Get that out the way. Pull up Steam. Fix my, there we go. So if you go to your game, you can do this while it's running. You don't have to shut your game down every time you want to change this. Go to your controller configuration. Here is where you would do your mode shifting. So you can mode shift your D-pad if you want to. You can mode shift your joystick. You can mode shift the other one. You can even mode shift your A, X, Y, and B. But this is where I have the extra 4 guns. So mode shifting, what it does is when you press a button, it turns the joystick into a directional pad. So what happens when I hold down the the paddle on the back, which is bind to Y, it reads it as a directional pad, and then these buttons are bound to keyboard buttons. You can bind them to whatever button you want to. So if we go back to the game, let me turn that off. Alright, go back to the game. Go back to my controls, where I'll show you my keyboard controls right here. And then you see like combat shotguns on Q, R, G, chain gun, BFG. So let me show you what it actually does in the game. So when I press, when I'm walking like this, I'm walking like, and then when I hold the paddle back here, and when I press up, it's combat shotgun. When I press down, it's the plasma rifle. When I press left, it's the BFG. When I press right, it's the minigun. So my layout is scroll up, PB, scroll down, rocket launcher. I think it's like mouse 5 right here on the side is super shotgun. Uh, Gauss cannon, and down's directional path grenade. Up is it does nothing because that's for the crucible, which I don't have right now. Left on the D-pad is chainsaw. Right is melee. Walking like normal, but when I hold down the paddle and walk forward, it's combat shotgun. So let's say I'm doing my combo, whatever. And then when I want to switch to the combat shotgun, like see how I pause right there? Like this is walking normally, and then when I switch, I stop for like a brief second. It doesn't really interrupt much. So that's pretty much my my setup is just hold the paddle and switch up, and there's my 4 extra buttons or 4 extra weapons right there on the. Now if you don't have a paddle, let's say if you don't have a paddle, you can come back over here to Steam. I'm gonna pull this up again. Get that off the screen. Come back over here to your game. go to manage controller configuration, and you can actually mode shift. What I would recommend doing is mode shifting your D-pad, and then mode shift to your left trigger pull. What that does, I'm not going to actually do that because I have a mode shifted somewhere else, but what that does is, get that out the way. So what that does is when you dash, and let's say you press up on the D-pad, like when you dash and press up at the same time, it'll pull up one of these weapons like this. So if you don't have a paddle, you can mode shift your trigger, and when you dash around, you can switch weapons. Just have to remember that whichever way you're dashing is where you're pretty much going to go, and switch weapons. It can put you into a difficult spot. You can dash towards an enemy when you're trying to switch weapons. That's why I would much rather map it to a button that's not doing anything in the game. So I can just have that, free movement. I'm not putting myself at risk when I'm like dashing into stuff, trying to switch weapons. Well, yeah, that's pretty much how I play. Thank you for watching. I'll probably make another video on something else. I don't know. Alright, thanks.